We must keep balance whenever we just walk through the life. You want to do only what is synchronized to your energetic structure. What works for one person may not work for another person. Maybe you just need to change your environment where it will be easier for you. Whatever we do in life, we want to keep that balance. So temperance is actually the representation of balance. He's standing on one of his feet and it seems like it doesn't bother him. He's still in balance. Not even one drop of this water is falling away from those cups, and it's done in a perfect manner. Once you are in the balance, you start seeing clearly. You start seeing that many problems around you are actually not problems. I welcome you all today to this meditation, which is devoted to how to deal with all our anxieties throughout the day, throughout a certain period of time when we are overwhelmed by those anxieties and problems, the pressure of our deadlines. We all work here, so we are all pressured by deadlines, right? So we want to work with all these correctly and continuously be rooted, established into the balance of our being here. I already mentioned to you in the previous sessions, in meditations, and in our course, which is related to our beautiful deck, which is accompanying this deck, and which shows how you work actually with the deck correctly to do those beautiful changes into your life. So I already noted there that each and every action which you do into this life from the anxiety perspective, it brings you far away from actually what you want into this life. Why? Because imagine if you are going to the center, you are in the center, you see clearly, right? You are walking, let's say, through the rope from one shore to another, from one bank of the river to another. How balanced you must be to actually accomplish this mission. You must be balanced. But if you entangle yourself to the right or to the left, what happens eventually? You will not do it. This is the same what's happening in this life. We must keep balance, pure balance, whenever we just walk through the life. And for me, I really love working with the Temperance card. I'm just trying to find it here in all my cards. Why? Because the Temperance card actually represents for me the balance of all balance. Let me find it for you so that we could actually work with it. All right, so here it is. So temperance is actually the representation of balance. That's how I found it for me. It's pure synchronicity towards that balance within my system. You can find maybe some other card. I would recommend using this one, of course. But again, you always listen to recommendations from others, but you want to take decision which works for you. What is the final recommendation here is just have this balance in mind and tune to the card from the deck, which really talks to you from that balance perspective. No matter who on what's said to you, right? So you want to work with yourself, with your structure, and you want to do only what is synchronized to your energetic structure. You can again listen to others, you can observe what makes sense for you, but then you must tune in some sense towards yourself and literally do those efforts and pull from the deck the specific card which works for you. It actually refers to everything in life. We want to listen to others, we want to observe the world, but at the same time, we want to take the righteous decision in our lives ourselves, not because someone has told it to us, right? We want to just do the righteous thing for ourselves. It's the same like with different diets. We will see that many here are advocates for specific diets, but what works for one person may not work for another person just because you have different body structures, you were raised in different environments, and it's just a simple example as it is. Let's say if you were whole all your life in some cold environment, let's say in Siberia, how is it possible for you to be eating only just some grass, or to be a vegan? It is just very, very hard in those conditions. Maybe you just need to change your environment to go somewhere in a warmer climate where it will be easier for you. So it is very, very important to understand that whatever we do in life, we want to keep that balance because we want to come back to that clarity. We want to play with life. We want just even to stand maybe sometimes on one of our feet and literally do it in a joyful way, just because we see everything clearly, just like this beautiful angel is doing here. He's standing on one of his feet and it seems like it doesn't bother him. He's still in balance of his creation. And at the same time, he's holding those two cups. He's managing in a pretty perfect way. Not even one drop of this water is falling away from those cups, and it's done in a perfect manner. So that's what we are after here, and we want to establish that affirmation within ourselves that I am balanced. Once you are in the balance, guess what's happening? You start seeing clearly, and you start literally seeing that many problems around you are actually not problems. And what was causing the anxiety within your system before actually does not matter now. You will start seeing those drastic changes only after you put yourself into that balance. And guess what? Do you see that pyramid of stones here, right? You will be able to create wonderful pyramids into your life after that. Nothing will go into that calamity, or at least it will not go that often, Or if it goes into that mode of calamity, at least you will look at what happened and understand the reason. If you do the same thing again and again without understanding the reasoning behind it, guess what happens? You must suffer on a certain level. You have to go through the same experience again and again and again. So balance first and creation second, right? Creation. What we do with those stones of creation here, with those bricks of creation here. If we are not into that balanced state, we notice certain things around us which actually drive our attention towards them, and we drive our attention there, and we don't notice, we don't pay attention to actually what matters. And in this case, our creation goes to that calamity mode. So everything is logical here, and we just want to be in that ultimate sense of clarity so that we would be able to create in a beautiful way how it was meant to be created. So again, balance first, creation second. What I would recommend is working with your tarot journal and literally observing your temperance card or whatever the card you picked from your deck, which literally talks to you from this perspective of balance and equanimity, and start noticing daily more and more symbolic representation of balance and equanimity within this card. Write it down into your journal and do this as a daily practice, ideally before sleep, so that you would start wiring your brain into this new balanced direction. Alrighty, so that is all for today. Thank you so much, and I'm wishing you a lovely day.